Biafra, the war that changed Nigeria. Season 1, Episode 7, Aburi, the meeting that failed. For a brief moment in a quiet town in Ghana, Nigeria's future hung on a handshake. Many believed peace was within reach, but when the leaders returned home, everything began to unravel. By early 1967, Nigeria stood dangerously close to collapse. The wounds left by coups, violence, and mistrust were growing deeper every day. Across the country, many feared that civil war was no longer a possibility, but an approaching reality. Yet there was still hope. Leaders from Nigeria's military government and the eastern region agreed to meet in the quiet Ghanaian town of Aburi. For many ordinary Nigerians, this meeting represented the final opportunity to save the nation from catastrophe. Delegates traveled to Ghana carrying more than documents and proposals. They carried the hopes of millions. The scars of recent tragedies remained fresh. Every conversation, every handshake, and every word spoken would carry enormous weight. The journey to Aburi felt less like a political meeting and more like a race against history itself. Inside Aburi's peaceful surroundings, Nigeria's most powerful military leaders gathered face to face. Among them stood Ojukwu and Gowon. Both men believed they were protecting Nigeria. Both carried enormous responsibilities, yet each saw the country's future differently. The atmosphere remained respectful, but beneath every smile lay deep concerns. The talks continued for hours. Military leaders debated authority, security, regional rights, and the future structure of Nigeria. Every proposal seemed capable of changing history. Some moments brought optimism. Others revealed how deep the divisions had become. Still, both sides remained at the table. As discussions progressed, something remarkable seemed to happen. Agreements began to emerge. Delegates found common ground on key issues. For the first time in months, many participants believed peace might actually be possible. The atmosphere became noticeably lighter. Smiles appeared. Optimism slowly replaced fear. The agreements reached at Aburi became known as the Aburi Accord. Supporters believed it offered a pathway toward national reconciliation. If implemented successfully, it could reduce tensions and preserve unity. For a brief moment, the future appeared brighter. When the delegates returned to Nigeria, expectations were high. Communities across the country waited anxiously. Many hoped the agreements would be honored. Many believed peace had finally been secured. But events soon took a different turn. Soon disagreements emerged over what had actually been agreed upon. Different leaders interpreted the Aburi discussions in different ways. Misunderstandings grew. Trust weakened once again. The optimism that had filled Aburi began to fade. As the weeks passed, the gap between both sides widened. The spirit of compromise weakened. The possibility of peace slowly slipped away. Ordinary citizens watched nervously as political tensions intensified once again. History would later remember Aburi as a meeting filled with hope and heartbreak. Many believed it was Nigeria's last realistic opportunity to avoid war. When the agreements failed to hold, the nation moved closer to a conflict that would soon change millions of lives forever. The story of Aburi reminds us that peace is often easier to discuss than to preserve. For a brief moment, leaders found common ground, yet mistrust, fear, and political disagreements proved stronger than hope. In our next episode, we explore the dramatic declaration that would change African history forever. Like this video. Subscribe for more episodes of Biafra, the war that changed Nigeria. Follow on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. Comment below. Do you believe the Aburi Accord could have prevented the Nigerian Civil War?